Oscar Valdez moves up to 130 and gets his first victory, now in line for a Miguel Berchelt fight as he defeats Adam Lopez. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. Sign up for ESPN Plus using my link. The link is in the description box of all of my videos, and it does help my channel as I am an affiliate. Speaking of, there was a great fight. Top Rank, shout out to Top Rank, with Oscar Valdez moved up to 130. You also had Carl Frampton, who got a victory on the card, and Carl Frampton won via a decision, and Oscar Valdez got a late stoppage, I believe round 7. Now, there was some controversy, good old controversy. The referee jumped in. Let me start from the beginning. This was a really good fight, and it was unfortunate that it ended in the fashion that it ended. In the early rounds, Adam Lopez, who was a late replacement, he was not even supposed to be fighting Oscar Valdez. So I don't know how prepared he was. I think maybe he was on the card, but he was supposed to be fighting. He has traditionally fought at featherweight, 126. So he had to move up as Valdez was moving up to 130. Adam Lopez is trained by Buddy McGirt, who worked with Kovalev. Very great. He worked with the great Arturo Gatti as well. And they had a good game plan. I didn't know too much about Adam Lopez, but just from boxing circles, I've heard about him. I heard little things, and he impressed me. He looked good. He was boxing well. He was really confident. And in the second round, he caught Oscar Valdez slipping, dropped him. It was a good, clean, nice counter. And Oscar Valdez was surprised, went down, got back up. And through much of the fight after that, Adam Lopez was boxing, and you seen Valdez, who was trying to find his way, close the distance, and he was pretty much headhunting. But I like the boxing dynamic from Valdez. Then Valdez caught Lopez with the shot, and he seen the funny reaction, and probably being down on the cards, he decided to get aggressive, and then he hit him with a couple more shots. Lopez falls back into the ropes. Then he gets back up, beats the count, gets back up or whatever, takes a knee, gets back up. And Valdez, seeing that this is his opportunity in the fight where he was, pretty much getting outboxed, plus got knocked down, he starts gunning it, throwing shots. But a lot of it was missing. Not every, it's you have a wounded opponent and somebody's hurt, heads cloudy. And credit to Valdez, he put some punches together. Not all of them landed. Out of nowhere, Russell Mora just jumped in the with two. It was 2 minutes and 53 seconds of the 7th round, I believe. So 7 seconds on the clock. The man they traded knockdowns. The man got back up and wasn't getting battered. And out of nowhere, with only 7 seconds left, in the true Julio Cesar Chavez versus Mildred Taylor fashion, with that little time remaining for the end of the round, Russell Mora's like, I've seen enough, and then jumps in the middle of the action and calls a halt to the bout. Horrible stoppage. As you guys can see, that was a good fight. Thought it was a premature stoppage. Yes, indeed, Mike Reed, boxer. Stoppage was ass. Ref was ass. Fight was excellent. Mark Ortega, a reporter. Wow, Russell Mora with the early stoppage in the 7th round. God damn it, Russell Mora. Shakur Stevenson. Lopez winning, he nice too. Clarissa Shields, what an early stoppage. Top Rank, dang, messed up a good fight. Shakur Stevenson, bro, that was a horrible stoppage. Me, this is me. 7 seconds left though, LOL. Like, why would you stop it with 7 seconds, bro? Horrible. Another reporter, the worst part about the stoppage was Lopez was all the way in the fight as an underdog against Valdez. Wasn't like that he was taking a beating at all. He earned better than that. Bad stoppage. Russell Mora is usually on point. Tonight he was on some BS. So, it's not Oscar Valdez's fault. So I'm not going to, I can't blame him. He didn't make the judgment call. But that's a fight where he certainly could have been losing. It was a good fight. And Russ Mora jumped in and really messed it up. The thing, I have a couple concerns here, man. These referees in boxing, I don't know if there's like they need to do, boxing needs a governing body, man. They need a board, and they need, like any other job that you can have, they have recertifications. Like I told you, I had jobs where I will operate heavy machinery, like forklifts and cherry pickers and scissor lifts and stuff like that. And we have to do, periodically, we'd have to do recertifications to make sure you're still competent enough to, operate this. It's just, you don't just get a license, because you got to have a license for it. You don't just get the forklift license and then it's just good indefinitely. You would have to do recertifications just to make sure you're still utilizing the safety features of the device or the machinery, blah, blah, blah. Boxing needs that to make sure these judges and refs stay sharp at all times, because so many times in recent memory, we're seeing great fights that are ended and, shrouded with controversy. And it's making me wonder if there's a bigger picture, like companies and promoters are, if they're a walkie-talkie or some type of chip in their ear, and then they're like, okay, hurry up and stop it. Valdez came on, just, make sure it's because that's what it seems like. It's looking like these are bad decisions. 7 seconds left in a fight where he's arguably winning and he's the underdog. You owed better than that. So it seemed weird. So it's really, I'm not a big conspiracy theorist, but it's making me wonder, is there a bigger picture? Because I know they want to make Oscar Valdez, Miguel Berchelt, and those are two top ranked fighters. That's a bigger fight. So are they the first sign of danger? They're making sure it stops. I don't like that, because it reminds me of Carl Froch versus George Groves. Same type of concept. George Groves, the first fight, was boxing very well. Same thing. Dropped Carl Frampton. And as soon as Carl Frampton later in the fight worked himself back into the fight and hurt George Groves, the referee decides to stop it as soon as George Groves gets hurt a short time later. But the whole time when George Groves was winning, and when Carl Froch got dropped, the referee didn't think about stopping it. So it just don't look good. Adam Lopez, he was owed more than that. His face wasn't bad. He was really winning the fight, boxing well. And the good thing is he looks to be, I didn't know too much about him, but from what I've seen, he looks to be an intelligent boxer with an intelligent corner. So if the end was going to come, you should let it happen a little bit more naturally, because he looks to be an intelligent boxer. Like, he could have cleared his head because he has actual boxing abilities, and he got caught, but he wasn't, he's not like a Ruslan Provodnikov where he just doesn't have that skill set to defend himself or to bob and weave, move heads and, move his head and stuff like that. So egregious stoppage, horrible stoppage. And this keeps happening in boxing. You look at, some people are angry with Logan Paul, KSI. This is the knockdown. Some people are angry with the KSI Logan Paul 2-point deduction from Jack Reese. Jack Reese already had the December fight, so within the same 12-month calendar year, he had the fight with Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, where there probably shouldn't have even been a count, and then now premature stoppages. And this trend has to stop in boxing, especially the referee should use the better judgment. Like, no one wants to see fighters get permanently disabled, maimed, or hurt, but the kid, he hadn't been getting bruised and beat. If he was taking, boxing's not even making sense. So I feel like there has to be a reason why these decisions are happening, because it's just so flagrant. Like, for example, how do they let Tyson Fury on Top Rank's card fight with the cuts that he had, with blood spilling in his eye, at the heavyweight division? And you want to see the man through instead of going to the scorecard. You think that was a fight that should have kept going, but this guy, as soon as he got hurt, despite the fact that he dropped Valdez himself and he was winning the fight and boxing well, you think you should just hurry up and pull the plug, but Tyson Fury is allowed to continue. Badu Jack fought against Marcus Brown, horrific cut on his forehead, bleeding into his eye. He's probably getting woozy and stuff from blood loss, and they didn't stop the fight. Marlon Esparza fought on the Golden Boy card against Senicia Estrada, same thing. Bad cut in the scalp, bleeding in her eye. They don't decide to stop that, and they keep letting her go until the last round, and then I think she retired on the stool or couldn't fight or whatever, and these fights are being allowed to continue, but this, you want me to believe this was a good stop? It's just horrible. We need to get some kind of unilateral type of like calls made or something. But anyway, it was a very good fight. I'm looking forward to Oscar Valdez versus Berchelt. Berchelt looked big, y'all. Berchelt looked big, so it's gonna be a difficult fight. Valdez, I've seen him dropped. He fought, you know, unknown guys. Like, this wasn't even a 130 pounder, and I know it's his first fight at 130 pound, and he wasn't planning. He was planning for Gutierrez, but he still was dropped by this guy. Berchelt is aggressive, strong, looked pretty durable, and looked way bigger than him. So that's a difficult fight for Valdez, because like I said, I've seen Valdez dropped a couple times at this point, you know, and got his jaw broken with Scott Quigg. He's still doing like war cries, and look at this picture, his mouth wide open. If you get countered right there, you could break your jaw. Tim Bradley kind of talked about this. There was a weird moment in this fight where Tim Bradley, he says like, why is Valdez keep punching with his mouth open? And then he needs to close his damn mouth. And then the Bernardo Osuna told Tim Bradley, there's a lot of people that say you need to close your mouth. So I thought that was kind of weird. You know, it's like Bernardo Osuna was offended that he said that about Valdez, so he came back with that, you know, that banter. So I don't know, it is what it is, but I thought that was a weird, kind of a weird moment. But Lopez was owed more than that to stop it. Berchelt versus Valdez, very good fight. I just want to see it. I think they can do it in Arizona, Texas, Cali, or Vegas. Those are the places I think that would be the best. But that should be a good fight, a good war. Berchelt's looking big, bro. He's looking real big, so I love it. I think it's a good fight. Congrats to Valdez, because he did show heart by even turning around and creating the punch to drop his opponent. That was like a come from behind. He needed that, and I like it. But it has me worried about boxing, for real. It has me worried, because the same thing that I'm looking at the Andy Ruiz fight. He fighting all the way over there in Saudi Arabia, and they have Luis Pabon, who hasn't even done any recent heavyweight fights, and he hasn't really done many boxing big fight. Canelo versus Golovkin, Mayweather fight. He ain't done no real big fights like that. So I just don't want to see this. Like, if Andy Ruiz gets hurt and it's a rematch room card, if Andy Ruiz gets clipped, you know, and he's still in the fight, and they just hurry up and rush it to try to bring it to a close. That got to stop happening in boxing. Fans pay all this money for tickets. We want to see it in more of a traditional fashion. This is Chavez versus Meldrick Taylor. You know, with so little time on the clock to expire, see if he can get out the round. You know, it's like you have to be able to make better judgment calls. You know, if a person was, if Lopez had been getting beat up all day and he got dropped 4 times or something like Joshua, okay, cool. You know, that's something different. If you've been getting beat up all fight, or he was like his eyes were crossed or something. But that wasn't the case. And I think Russell Moore knew that. It's just like he wanted to hurry up and end his night so he can go to get some drinks from the Cosmopolitan or something, or gamble. Like, you just ended it for no reason. And it was only a 10-rounder, and this was the 7th round. So Adam Lopez said post-fight, nah, I was good. I could have continued with his boxing, and he wasn't even a 130-pounder. So I just hope Ruiz has fair officiating versus Joshua 2 over there in Saudi. Good fight. Let me know what you guys think of the outcome. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. If you love what I'm doing, hit the subscribe button. We working. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button, and you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.